I'm your first one, right? So.
I need him, he can't blacklist you. Yeah. He's got to design, he's got to change his outfit. He went halfway when he stopped. He does it before he goes, you know what, fuck it, we don't have to do anything. That's what I do.
What is going on? You playing today? Yeah. Soccer joint skills, right? Like the other day, I did it once, and I over this for 3 times. I'm about to watch your face, but also his perspective between you and your thing.
No, 11.9 divided by
Wage trains and all of that. Yeah, you just go like that. Yeah, that's good. I've seen our options that really works. Because naturally you're on this little prick behind you, the one that's playing up. That's what you do.
Is that alright? This is alright?
I saw a photo the other day. Years ago, I realised that bloke just
There's no more.
Everyone's on ladders. That'll be another excuse.
Some shit happening in the night, shit happening in the 11. So you gotta look at that channel, I think he's on on that day, very drop, you know what I mean? One, two, testing. 7 Australia Cup action. I'm Mark. Hosting the Olympic with a chance to move on to the Warsaw Cup semi-final and the national round of the Australian Cup. Okay. One, two. I think my passion came out. But no, we're on. We're back in the track now. All the teams in the world. Ryan's really good too. He's going to be lost. No, you got to wait. Yeah, we'll see where it takes us. Fuck it up. But if you guys are there, it's alright. We'll sort something out. Let me know up. Yeah, true. He was a negative. The one you talking about the main goal, the one. Yeah, that was used to me. Boys, good to see you up. Take care. Oh, you owe me a fucking autograph, man. Oh, yeah. Hey, everything good better for you, mate, aren't you? Good luck tonight. I'm talking this guy here. Sorry. He's trying to lock me out. He's trying to flash this thing. Oh, that's all right. Great trying to go well. Have an easy night.
Who's there? Who's there?
The more they're going to show you.
Guys,
If
you want to take part of this, you're going to take your shirts on. So you're going to be looking like this. Go give your jumper for your mum and dad. But I need jumpers off. Give them to mum and dad.
Yeah, go put it somewhere that you can come back. Oh, yeah, you're all going to just put a massive guard of honor.
Hey guys, just be quiet, be quiet.
Joel, do you have your pants? Put your pants on. I told you before. Put your pants on quick.
Anthony,
Boys, take the jumpers off. Jumpers off. Jumpers off.
you go. Oscar, you're too big for this. Santi, Jonathan, take the jumper off.
They're all going to mix together. Give me a jumper for mum and dad. Put a jumper for mum and dad. Right, quick, put them on. Wait, can I have one line behind me and one line behind Chris?
He's got
really fucking
There's no ball boys.
It's been a while. This season's league form didn't suggest a groundbreaking cut run. Perhaps their win over Blacktown on Saturday will be the point they look back on, the point where their season turned. Win here would keep the good vibe flowing for Michael Molito and his staff. Indeed, that showed renewed vigour and unity over the past few weeks. So not to survive the drop. The Olympic have not been lower than New South Wales top tier since back in 1960. Continues for both. There's a little bit for Fraser Park. Some injury worries have taken over the side in preparation after their 2-0 win over Camden Tigers. Got them back in the winner's circle on the weekend. Sebiang drops out along with Ruben Awaratife, who has a knee complaint, and Andrew Vlach-Thomas, who was substituted there. In for them, come a trio: Mateo Guerra, Benjamin Astudillo and Christian Dos Santos picked to start for this historic occasion. Daniel Vickers, the goalkeeper. Christian Dessa, the longest serving player at the club and captain. Greg Ioezi is in the centre of defence. Finn Hodgson-Yu, Paul Turin, George Grillakis, and Colin Khalil behind. Francis McAlpine will be shouldering a lot of the attacking responsibility. Olympic unchanged from that win over Blacktown City, so Anthony Carreras continues in goal behind a back four of Ben Jarson, Peter Politis and Siggy Gordon, the experienced defensive duo. In the heart of Michael Molito's defence, Samuel Posniak is the left back. Midfield three is the same as well. Josh Hong, the very impressive youngster Max Lubrich, and Marcus Fernandez at the point of that time. And a first senior goal on the weekend has seen Sebastian Kukuchka retain his spot on the right side of the attack. Georgios Luka is off the left, and Bailey Callahan leads the line. Well, a night of history. There's some expectation, certainly some expected juniors who saw create the guard of honour, and a good sound as Ivica gets us underway. Two teams that have really been on a roller coaster ride since COVID. Fraser Park made an old NPL 4 grand final back in
2020. They've not had the same success since then, but they have managed to finish up this beautiful facility. $2 million poured into it. And they've made it a bit of a fortress, and they've put Olympics straight on the back foot here. Wozniak strides away from danger. Tolpine full of huff and bluster and effort. He's also got a goal-scoring touch when it demands as well. This game goes the pattern we expect it to. It's the historic Giants playing out of the top tier of the New South Wales competition. Let's see. Two side on the front foot early. Ball directed in behind, almost finding Dos Santos. Holden being pressed immediately. They've come out with good intent. Fraser Park. Expect a little less from the rarity of adventures this deep into the competition. They're amongst the contenders for promotion as well this season. Alapides taking over at the start of the season after an extensive search for a coach. Team have got defending to do on the back of this. First defensive intervention of the night. It's a big cheer from the juniors that have lined the fence. Fantastic scenes. This really does feel like the place to be tonight. Trying to make history their own. Take the first step onto the national stage. Fraser Park, this club which dates back more than 60 years. It's by Sydney's Portuguese Community Club, which is right next door. The mainstream media, which has been the drama around the club at different stages off the field. The performances on the field in the league haven't been to the standard that is expected by their supporters, but this cup run has given them the opportunity to save some face to the youngest, two of the three youngest sides remaining in the competition. The two 11s put out tonight by their respective coaches. The Raiders, who got the victory in the one quarter-final of the World Cup that was played last night, round 7 fixture that doubles as a qualifier for the Australia Cup round of 32. Yesterday, a late winner scored for them. Yakov Belbasa for a tight tense affair with Wollongong United. Sides the only one that matches these two for youth.
Oh, here we go.
Real restructure for Olympic in terms of the way they're doing things. They've still got those couple of experienced players. Peter Politis has been a servant here for more than a decade. Ziggy Gordon, 14 after his time in the A-League with the Western Sydney Wanderers. Big part of their championship campaign. Which, although ultimately not getting out of the group stage was as a bit of a disappointment. They were lucky not to make it out of there. The start of the league campaign this season has been more concerning, as we've mentioned, but win against Blacktown City, probably their best performance of the year on Saturday. And so why change what's not broken? Talked about Sebastian Kukuchka in the pre-game, first senior goal, and Ben Chiasen, who's bedded himself down as a first-team regular after signing from the Wollongong Wolves in the summer. After a frantic start, Fraser Park just settling back into their shape for the pattern we were expecting. Fraser Park are a team that play with high energy, but always been seen a bit as the entertainers in the old NPL 4 and the modern League 2. Defensive solidity that Alapides has managed to instill in this team has been part of the reason for their rise up the table in 2026. Boys down the lowest as the juniors got involved again. great getting them here as well. It's been a phenomenal start. Long dragging Austin New to the turf, and free kick going in the host favour. Chance for them to get some of their big bodies forwards. Life centre-back, Big Junior. Santos delivers. Towards here, he's here, gets his head to it. Ferreira saw it all the way. Oh, we mentioned him, he's a popular figure around this club. He's not very much the life of the party in the dressing room. Galvanising force around the football club. Since signing back in 2020. Firm challenge from Stadillo. Free kick then going. Here's Ludovic as he tried to make his way forward. All will play as the deep room. The two midfielders. Actually, Peter Politis wearing the armband today. I think he wouldn't think he'd be sharing that duty at the moment. Wrestling match between Brelakis and Wozniak. Robert Jason, and nothing seen along there by Vicikovic until right at the very end. So the squad in favour of Sydney Olympic. Some other concurrent games being played tonight with positions in the national rounds of the Australia Cup being played for as well. Sydney United and Blacktown City. Memories of years past. Decade or so ago, and their rivalry was at its height. Like cup, but this is the magic of the cup. This sort of fixture. State's first tier against its thirds. It's Olympic making their way forward. Kukushka. Johnson overlapping. It's a decent delivery towards Luca. Just a little too high for him. Half away by Astudillo. Looking to turn is Ludovic, who's looking to pick space between defence and midfield. Wozniak. Going in the back line with A-League experience, but he ran himself into a bit of a cul-de-sac there. Desert with a touch of experience of playing the ball. Covering Olympic winger Georgios Luka. Sets of brothers across both squads tonight. Georgios' brother Alex is the youngest member of the Fraser team. He's sitting on the bench for Phillies tonight, should he need him. 17-year-old. Need him as Politis is forced into some defensive work. Enterprising run in behind from Dos Santos, who should have had a goal kick or a corner kick, I should say. Easy race. Let off the hook for now. Wet conditions around Sydney this week, but the temperatures haven't dropped. They're fairly balmy, 20 degrees at kickoff. In the middle of May in Sydney is slightly taste of water than usual. Beginning to feel right like winter by this stage. Here's he showing his strength, but then turning the ball over and a big let off for Fraser Park. Kukushka couldn't take the opportunity. Here's he showing us both sides of his game in a matter of moments there. The strength to win the ball and then a relaxed bit of play to let his team in. And now there's a chance down the other end, but the whistle is gone. As McAlpin ran through on goal. Santos adjudged to have flicked the heels of Jason as he tried to play that ball backwards. Some nervy moments from both teams in the opening 10 minutes. Ferreira's already forced into a save in the Olympic goal from a set piece, and then the 19-year-old Fraser Park goalkeeper Daniel Vickers forced to save from Kukuchka's effort. Still waiting the engagement, just making its mark on those sets of players in the very early stages. It hasn't on the Olympic players. And here's he back there to sweep the ball away from the fingertips of his goalkeeper. Luca will gather himself and try and drive Olympic forward down the left. Wozniak for Callahan. On. Couldn't find the telling pass. Olympic starting to find their rhythm. It's the two youngsters that have looked the brightest in the opening 10 minutes or so for the visitors. Pushed off that goal on the weekend. Look at a 20-year-old who started both of the last couple of games when they have looked that improved team. They've managed to fill the boots of two Japanese imports. Yuto Fujita and Yuta Kimura. Looking as though they'd be to try and drag Olympic out of the relegation scrap this year, but they've lost their place in the starting lineup over the last month. Injury has been a factor that's played into that. Youngsters being brought through and an increased focus on youth this year for Sydney Olympic. Beginning to bear some fruit with this pair. Again, Kukuchka able to get his fullback, and certainly his teammates think that the punishment meted out should be harsher than just a foul. Coming across about the attack. He did it by foul means rather than fair. 21-year-old was unfair. Adames on the weekends against Cambridge Tigers. He made it permanent. Today. So Olympics' first chance from one of these set-piece situations. It's in towards Gordon, who rose highest. It looks as though he overran the ball as such. Ball plays harmlessly. Over the top of Daniel Vickers' net. Alex Fortunoff along with you on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Thank you for spending your Wednesday night with us. The atmosphere and quality of football we've seen in the opening 15 minutes is going to keep you entertained for the entire evening. Remember that extra time and penalties will be played this evening if we need them to decide a winner. On the turn was Dos Santos. It was an audacious effort, almost blocking it before it travelled too far. We had a switch of play. That's just pulls up the attack slightly. It's to keep it in play, so it might fall at his feet, and then he ties into the challenge and consistent free kick. Leaves some of the pressure on Sydney Olympic. He's looked in control of this opening 15 minutes, but by no means dominant. What I expect from the side which wants a game from the evening. Come out with plenty of energy. Falcon has embodied that. Pressing from the front. This is the error from Politis. Well, it's a gorgeous turn on the inside from Khalil, and still he's going Khalil. Set it up beautifully, and not too far away from finding the opener either. It's Ben Hodgson-Yu. Been lively early. The ball just set up for him nicely.
Fucking Benny White.
Force Carreras into his first piece of meaningful work this evening. But Olympic getting themselves into trouble trying to play out in situations like that. Khalil. A good start to this competition. Delivery is a dangerous one. The captain's not being dragged down. It's an audacious appeal for a penalty. He's ring out. Have to keep their concentration. It did. presence of himself. I think we can see that. Started 5 straight since the round 12 win over Granville Rage. 4-11 it is. He's back with South Coast Flame. He's a Dunbar Rovers junior though. He's run a couple of clubs this level of New South Wales football. Arby only 3 goals in his 5 starts so far this season in the league. To score in the cup though, I'm sure he'd love to open his account tonight. Blessed with home draws all the way through this one. Fraser Park using this upgraded facility. I don't think they had that same fortune. They've been playing out of the Crest Athletic Centre. Usual home at Belmore because some of the upgrades on the use of the higher the venue on. The new ground to take their away games. It might have helped them in getting past Marconi Stallions a couple of rounds ago though. This is their first away tie competition. It's Jarson. That's the decision. Not allowed to turn this time around. Gorgeous switch. Just opened up the field really. For Turin, who to deliver first time is not on the money. They've been adventurous in the early stages, Fraser Park. They've not been afraid to spray the ball around. Nice little passing combinations between players in central areas. A couple of terrific switches as well. Still playing at the head of a packed midfield. Getting himself on the ball a little more regularly in the last 5 minutes or so. Step in a turnover at Fraser Park after their 2025 campaign, which fell short of promotion. Finished 9th, which was their display in a couple of seasons. To push for promotion, the change is made as the Calpin makes a challenge. And the ball, and fairly straightforward decision for referee Kovic. Make sure that they don't concede too many set pieces in this sort of situation. Fraser Park, this is a strength of Sydney Olympics. Even in the down year they've had, set piece proficiency has still been they're amongst the best in the competition. Seeing the towering frame of Michael Aaron Passage they had to aim for in the early stages of the season, but he's been aptly replaced by the likes of Ziggy Gordon. He's got in the score sheet from these sorts of situations as well. It's something off the training ground. A chance for a shot, a good block from Jose. Olympics haven't had too much of this year, where they've been expected to break down their opposition and play with the majority of the ball. They've been most of it. Certainly back in round 4 against Central Coast United, they make very heavy weather of it. Ending up back then 2-1 winners, but that was when their form was at its lowest. Last round against Randwick City, they were more convincing, winning by 4 goals to 0. Challenge by Leozi. You see the popularity that carries around this football club of those couple of challenges in the Fraser Park have been very keen to press and been very proactive as the underdogs tonight. How long does that continue? The weather won't be a problem. A slight drizzle falling over Sydney's inner west tonight. Slicking up the playing surface. Official pitch, freshly laid. Gordon. Launching out with the misplaced pass. From Dessa. Swept up by Ziggy Gordon as to, enough, had a connection to the Central Coast Mariners at the same time in their careers. Here a decade ago, Dessa was a trialist in his early 20s. Rival in Australia from an academical. Scotland. Equaliters. Almost the entirety of last season with a knee injury because he's strapping around that right knee. Seeing it's a carving crossfield ball put out by Dessa. For Kralakis to run with the ball. Nice little 1-2 with Hodgson Yu. Good football from Fraser Park. Dos Santos. Jason isolated. That's a beautifully weighted ball, and Gordon had to stick with it. Clearance hasn't gone out of play. Hodgson Yu's header. And lick up with Kralakis again. Eventually strapped away by Gordon, whose initial intervention was critical because the Carlton looked poised to score. Quite to be. Wait for the opening goal. It goes on. This has gone out of the game for the first 10 minutes, but we might have expected that. As I say, it's been quite a slow tempo by any means. Kukuchka. Luka. Direct option. Only trying to keep the attack alive. So back to Jason and happy to reset. Out to the left-hand side. Luka was waiting. Lukovic. Oh, it's a crossing opportunity. That's a promising ball as well. It's over the head of Kukuchka, and it's not quite able to reel it in. Rolling goes Fraser Park's way as well because there's just got the slightest of touches. Seats in the grandstand. Right our broadcast position. Expecting the crowd moving to listen. Say, it would have been expected to the reception they were going to get here. They've responded pretty well. The opening of this game has made an enterprising run, but now he needs teammates to track back for him after the turnover. Shot has gone away, just a little off balance as he struck it, Khalil. Here, Kralakis particularly have been keen to run. Yeah, 5 league starts this has been used more often off the bench by Alapidis. Good return from Dunbar last season where he made the 5 starts and scored 5 goals. Been part of the signing it. Well, Fraser Park has done a great job of lots of media around this match, getting people into the ground. It was free entry for everybody this evening. Trying to create this atmosphere that they managed in the opening stages. Free kick on the far side. Rather innocuous challenge, but Sokovic and his assistant tonight, Kobinat, have come up with a free kick in Fraser Park's favour. This could be the moment first to define this evening. Chance on the half volley. Properly caught for Kalpin. Run with the football. In fact, now it's McAlpin in a crossing position. It's a dangerous ball. Lots of blue shirts back there. Warden didn't know what was behind him. I thought the safest option was to clear. He was right about that. Shooting opportunity into the side netting. There were some in the grandstand that had thought it had found the back of the net. Ferreras looked fairly comfortable. Was travelling wide. Another shot in anger from Hodson Yu. In fact, it was Grilakis. Find that shot in anger. Scored a round 4 victory over Strathfield. Here it's his only goal of the competition so far, but second only to Fernandez in scoring in league football for them this season. Khalil, clever little turn. Ball out to Grilakis wasn't too bad either. And the backhill's even better. Defense. Luca, but he's had to concede a corner in the process. It was diligent defending for the young winger. He is Fraser. To track back and his end of the bargain defensively. Expectant crowds. Rising hope. Ferreras missed it! And into the right post! And Fraser Park have taken the lead! A towering header at the back post by Ben Astudillo! The club junior, the 22-year-olds, 14 to start tonight. And has imprinted his name on the tie early. A towering header. Oh, what a moment that is. His second goal in all competitions this season. What a time to come up with your first in the cup against Olympic, and the League 2 side lead the NPL Giants. Wobbled Giants, they've looked at different times this season certainly, but we know it's going to be an achievement. Should they manage to hold on, they're going to have to hold their nerve in moments like that. Give it the heave-ho there. Not quite managing. That needed to be bailed out by his teammates. Yossi. A couple of commanding tackles to Spencer. A couple of little errs like that as well. with Olympic players in the vicinity. With a wry smile as he returns to his defensive position there. Contest really by McAlpin. Silly returns to his feet, won the ball back, and then has to be it's a little fired up by his goal. Which isn't a common occurrence. Just leaving a little bit too much on Fernandez. Marcus returns to his feet. Plays shots and creative players long sleeves. He's gone short as well. Heads up football, to the touchline. Thompson Uri back fulfilling his defensive responsibilities. And so the atmosphere finds another little lift. Hope involved in the time now, and that could lead to the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Fraser Park by scoring that over from a neutral perspective anyway. I've set up this tie just beautifully. Engaged crowd, a team out of form for the majority of the season, up in the top tier, now being asked to break down a scrappy, sturdy opponent. Kukuchka. Ball himself, that was ambitious. Vera did a pretty good job of marshalling him into a position where everybody was pretty comfortable from a Fraser Park perspective in any case. Test for Olympics used as well. This is not an examination many of them have had in their mostly short careers. Leadership of Super Gordon and Vinopolitis is going to be required even more so now. Creative flair of Fernandez. Going to need to look to as well. Doubling Olympic defense have made their way in tonight and found their voice to tell the referee that he'd like to see some cards out of his pocket sooner rather than later. Might be hard pressed in getting that. Politis. For Kukuchka. Fernandez making the run forward. Asadio. Been the standout so far tonight after opening the scoring. Back to clear the danger this time. Changes for Alavidis. Sprinting in front of the back four tonight. He's did a good job of that so far. Fernandez might be worrying he's planning on following him down paternally to see the Olympics dressing room at half time as well. The close attention he's given him. Callahan has barely had a touch. His Olympics furthest player forward. Fraser Park have been good value for their lead with 10 minutes to play in the first half. That's for Luca. Gorgeous pair of feet to shrug off the first challenge, drag down in the second, but no whistle coming. Owen could have won it in Fraser Park's favour. allow Fraser Park to take their time over moments like this, to suffocate Sydney Olympic, the ball out of play when they get the opportunity as well. Markets Khalil coming to the right hand side. Santos with an ambitious ball forward. That the fate of Hodgson knew. Bacchio was even more dramatic in its conception. Didn't quite have the magic in the feet to pull it off. Gorgeous turn. Away from Laburic. Plays it off to Dos Santos, stretching the clear was Politis. He playing the ball forwards, but that was cut out well. Garson. Turning that challenge to perfection on Georgios Luka, and then you know about it as well. Team counter-attacking in the meantime with Khalil. Forced wide by Politis, got the ball back inside him. A little bit too much know-how to wiggle his way free from the situation. Free kick given to his frustration. Olympic can make their way forward. This is where Luka loves to operate. Dessa will need to get over and cover. Ball play to Kukushka at the edge of the area. Lovely turn, Sebastian Kukushka. Straight into the grateful arms. The Fraser Park goalkeeper Nichols. He's got to be careful here. He's just in the cycle of the backwards. Ended up plenty of challenges like that in his career. Here with the long ball. And out by Gordon again. Wozniak clever in turning away from trouble. Then his ball to Luka was turned over. And Khalil searching ball to the left hand side. Santos to reel it in. Someone with Garson. Beating on him at the line. Just to hook the ball away. Olympic on the back foot late here in the first half. Trailing to Ben Astudillo's goal, just shy of a half-hour mark from a corner kick. First goal of the cup run, second goal in all comps this season. Khalil. Clean challenge this time from Laburic, and Callahan's off the shoulder here, and he's onside. That's the typical response from the Fraser Park Juniors. Happy to see him crossing cover. So plenty of time on Olympic side, they mustn't forget that. But the tidiness that was present in their play before Fraser Park so has rather departed them in the last 10 minutes or so. Comfortable with the advantage, the hosts. They could extend it. Calvin bending one! It's a volley! What a strike! Fitting a cup set. Is that what that has catalysed? Olympic a sloppy turnover, yes, but I didn't expect the bending, hissing strike. But Francis McCuppen produced after that. No chance, Carreras. victory looking to be in the making. Still a lot of time left to play. But this is a team full of confidence. And any reticence, any fears that they held about facing supposedly superior opposition have surely been washed away with a quite wonderful opening half performance. And still they're going, looking for more. Not wants to stop. McAlpin cross away from Khalil in the middle. Kept alive by Dos Santos. Hodgson Yu. Marcus looking to take, still a chance, and Khalil nearly made it 3. Olympics defence in 6s and 7s, players looking at each other, wondering who has the answer. The answer at the moment is the Fraser Park 11, who have started tonight on a mission. Not played with panic, have not played with over-exuberance. It's been measured, it's been professional. McAlpin's goal, it's a picture of that. A team that executed its press, won the ball back high up the pitch, and then produced that little bit of quality to put themselves 2 up. The cup set is on. Rather than looking buoyed by the performance on Saturday night, say complacency's snuck in, but certainly panic has after Astudillo's opener. Haven't looked tidy in possession, haven't looked likely to break Fraser Park down. So the hosts, by contrast, have looked comfortable, expecting that they'd have less of the ball here, and so prepared to work hard for one another and battle without it, and take their opportunities when they arose. They've done that, and now they need only sit on this lead for another 45 minutes or so. Make sure you get to half-time with a clean sheet. Olympic would love to strike a blow back before the break, and I'll tell you what, Christian Dessa called upon at the back post to get the telling touch. Well, I tell you what, just Luca might have got his toe to the ball. Goal kick, says the referee. Moment for this club, celebrating their 61st year of existence in 2026. The new facility is nice, but you want good football to celebrate in it. Big moments like they produced tonight. There could be more to come. National round, maybe an A-League opposition. Justify's got to be thinking about that, the 11 out there, but us observers, we can very much start prophesizing and predicting who might come out of the hat. Certainly the supporters have that belief. Why wouldn't they? The team have put on a quite terrific first half display. A couple of minutes to be added on. We don't have the electronic board here at Fraser Park, so your guess is as good as mine as to how much extra time we're getting at the end of the first 45 minutes. Olympic with questions to answer. What an addition Francis McAlpin's been to missing the starting lineup in the opening 10 rounds or so of the season. I think the first names on Leopard is his team sheet right now. What a first half! the sound from the home support. Matched only by the racket that was created by the 2 goals. Ben Astudillo heading home from a set piece to give Fraser Park the lead on home turf and set the cat amongst the pigeons in the Olympic backline before Francis McAlpin. He struck a shot that will be replayed for some time around these parts. Certainly in McAlpin household, I bet. 45 minutes left to hang on. Who thought we'd be saying that at the start of the night? It's Fraser Park 2, Sydney Olympic 0, as the 2 teams head down the tunnel at half-time in this round 7 Australia Cup tie.
Boys are doing good, huh?
back to Fraser Park. Players being treated as heroes already for the first half performance. No doubt they'll be that to juniors, so they've gathered in front of the pitch to welcome them back on for the second half. What a first 45 minutes it was. It deserved every one of those cheers. Ben Astudillo opening the scoring. Towering header from a corner kick before Francis McAlpin scored what could go down as one of the goals of the Australian Cup all the way to its final fixtures in October and November. But it means little if Fraser Park can't hold on. That is the task for them now, with 45 minutes left to play against their NPL opposition. Just two teams from the third tier of New South Wales football have managed to make the national rounds. The last were the Balmain Tigers 11 years ago. Fraser Park 45 minutes from adding their name to the list of history. Sydney Olympic trying to play party poopers. They're going to need a turnaround in their display from the opening 45 minutes, that's for sure. Michael Molino has gone to his bench. Lucas Williams, the youngster, brought on into the heat of battle to try and give them a little bit more attacking spark in this second stanza. Didn't test Fraser Park's defence often enough, didn't test their goalkeeper, 19-year-old Daniel Vickers, enough. Central Coast product still lives up there. Taking a drive down a couple of nights a week and now a couple of games a week. Remember that Fraser Park win through here. They're not just giving themselves around a 32 plus to look forward to, but a Waratah Cup semi-final as well. Northern Tigers a year ago knocked off opposition big as Apia to make the final. Anything is possible at the back end of New South Wales Cup football. So what we see in the second 45 minutes, Alex Molchanov along with you for it, and he's the hero of the first half. McAlpin trying to play provider. It's a well-judged cross. I'll tell you what, wasn't a comfortable piece of defending whatsoever for Liburic as he made his way back there. Musi just losing his footing as he strode out of defence. He might well go down as one of the heroes tonight. Some chance for Roger Tuma from the juniors as well. The man here at Fraser Park, Tiago tells me is the favourite of the youngsters out here. Don't know if his talents would be called upon tonight, given the game state. That could change in the blink of an eye. The change brings results on the pitch for 2 minutes, and Lucas Williams has got one back for Sydney Olympic. The 18-year-old strikes off the bench for Michael Melita the last 4 weeks. Right place, right time. Fraser Park's party is just halted. What's that saying about 2-0 leads? Something about them being dangerous, and if Fraser Park thought that Olympics output wouldn't improve in the second 45 minutes, it would have just been proven sadly mistaken. So the response has come, and we've got a cup tie. Beautifully played in. We mentioned Bailey Callahan had too much of the football in the opening 45 minutes. Well, made an impact with that ball to the back post. More defending to do. It's a clever bit of work from Hodgson Yu. Took the lightest off his feet by protecting the football. But the final touch was his, and Olympic will have a throw deep in their own half. Fraser Park of football, New South Wales League 2, the third tier in this state, the fourth in the national pyramid in Australia. Looking to put their name in the hats. The likes of Sydney FC and Melbourne Victory, Auckland FC, the A-League champions. Round last week. Fernandez with a heavy touch and a heavier tackle on Astadio, who's gone down. Kovic is reaching for a card. Certainly hopeful it will only be yellow. And it is. Beginning of the match. There's a way of a big player who's copped a bit of treatment going the other way from Astadio. NPL clubs 3 games to get to this stage, whereas League 1 and League 2 clubs have to play 4. One in at round 3. The outside's getting that break through an extra round of football. Fraser Park haven't exactly had a charmed run in terms of their draw either. Bankstown City and Bankstown United, the two teams vanquished. Bankstown City, one of the favourites to be promoted from League 1, although they did put out a heavily rotated side. Fraser Park left nothing to doubt that night, vanquishing them by 6 goals to 2. They might take on a similar complexion if City Olympic continue to go for goal. Hong. Very difficult ball. It's always to dink the ball over a well-set defence like that, so he flips out to the right-hand side and looks to deliver a more regulation cross. Easy clearance for Jersey. The task hasn't changed, but the momentum of the match has. Fraser Park had a bit between their teeth heading into half-time, to the point where they were searching for a third. The Olympics seem to have gathered themselves at half-time, trying to reel themselves back in for a proper fight. They are Goliath in this fight for a reason. So they crowd that area. They conceded in the first half. Could they score here? Callahan's jump. It's fallen to Hong. Didn't sit for him. Might for Williams though. Oh, and it nearly stuck in. Still alive for Callahan. Sharpest save of the night having to be made there by Daniel Vickers. Williams delivering. This is all looking a little more hurried, a little more awkward for those. 5 minutes since the goal for Sydney Olympic that has brought them back into this tie. Just joining us, Fraser Park. League 2 team leading 2-0 at half-time, but now under siege from their NPL opposition. Comes down the right, Chelsea just hesitating. In fact, it was Kukushka actually. To the byline there. Nice turn from Williams. He's having another go, a third shot on target since coming on less than 10 minutes ago. Place of Georgios Luka. Intended at half-time. For a minute too long. Khalil, the most impressive for Fraser Park in the first half, and he's given McAlpin something to run for. Oh, and Carreras, a bit of a meal of it. They've shepherded the Fraser Park striker far enough away. See the rain which is falling down on the playing surface tonight. Sydney's in a west. Transport trains rolling by in the background. Planes flying overhead. If you've been to Leichhardt Oval, it's that sort of field. And probably even tighter between train tracks and the airway path. It's created a very unique atmosphere in here. Chance down the right, Kukushka. Lively in the first half off his goal on the weekend. He's got to the byline and there's a field ball against PSE. Away by the referee. And Fraser Park will try and go in transition. Khalil, small for the hips, this time he's making Graham. More substitutions to come, so he's not going to die wondering. Roger Juma is going to be introduced there. He'll draw the big cheer. Khalil's night is over, like his promise. His way on in the heart of midfield, just add another bit of defensive steel in front of the defence. Might need to come into things straight away here. Goal kick is in and out. Seviang, who started on the weekend, but placed in the starting lineup tonight by Astudillo. Change those running results for Fraser Park. I'm hoping that narrative can continue. They really are having to hold their own. Barely been out of their own half in the 10 minutes that we've played of the second stanza so far. Callahan. Goodrich. Let's ball for Williams. And another diving save. Force from Vickers. Well, Williams is giving Fraser Park all sorts of trouble. Turning and shooting at will at the moment. You feel it's only a matter of time before he bags a second. What an inspired half-time substitution he's been from Michael Melito. The Sydney Olympic coaching staff. Talked about how young Fraser Park are in the first half, but Olympic have that similar complexion. Plays with a new challenge and expectation, yes, but playing without fear at the start of the second half. Or just evading Sam Bosniak, who is up at the far post. The more experienced players are just 22. It's getting harder and harder as this second half continues to tack along. The first touch for Juma. Fans want to see more of. Gasol will take his time over the throw. Calvin and Gordon, two players of well, similar application to the game, I'd say. Not going to shy away from a challenge, that's for sure. Jarson's ball over the top. Callahan has made more and more runs into these sort of wide areas, trying to drag the Fraser Park central defenders out of position. It's worked a treat. Linking up, Fernandez, this is good football from Olympic, better than we saw in the first half. He's ball for Bosniak, just with a little bit too much mustard on it, can't keep it in play. Atmosphere that surrounded this place in the opening 45 minutes has become rather tense. Could give them a release of sorts. As Gordon misjudges the ball. Juma. Just a bit too deep from the Calvin to attack with his head. Hoisted clear by Jason. Taken up by Hong, one back by Astudillo. Scored the opening goal of the game and got this Fraser Park crowd believing. Behind that was asking Juma to run. Torrin couldn't keep out that time. central defender. Pop. Position again, they'll be searching for Williams. Cross and the shot's there from Fernandez. Flashes across the face of goal. Sort of night for Marcus Fernandez. Nothing easy has come. His brother Mason, who's with a hamstring complaint. Lois in Fraser Park tracksuit watching on. Playing against his brother tonight, no doubt. A revelation since signing for the club in league football. Leads them in the goal scoring charts. 7 so far this year. Missing tonight. Failed to find the back of the net. The crowd rises every time he's near the ball. Sabayak. Holding up in the wet night sky. Grozos has been introduced on the far touchline as well, not able to figure his way out of the little equation that faced him. Fernandez, Stephen Awaratife, another one with recent NPL experience at the top level. New South Wales football also not available tonight. Another chance for somebody else to make their name from the set piece. The other end this time. Dio is up there again. Is this a chance for someone like Torrin to get his head on the ball? Oh, deep. Astudillo's there again. He's closest to it, just tracking the flight. Hoisted away by Fernandez. He is trying to encourage that noise coming into the stadium. Touch betraying him. Yasin. Piece of defending. Ball only half away. Grozos lining up. Ricochet came straight back to him. Piozzi with a flattering challenge. Coming out to win the ball. And dropping into Calpin to win it back. Astudillo with a gorgeous weighted pass to Juma. Somebody sliding challenge across the ankles. The Fraser Park fans thought should have brought the free kick. Task. Half-time was to hang on Fraser Park. They're nearly halfway there, but they've absorbed some bumps and bruises along the way. Fernandez for Grozos. Looking to get on that left foot again. This time a delivery. Veering header from Torrin. Gordon can only head the ball to play right on the touchline. Interesting how Fraser Park navigate the rest of their season. They do get through tonight. 2 more midweek games at least ahead of them. They're in a position in the league where they're in with a very real chance of gaining promotion, just a point behind Bonnyrigg in the promotion relegation playoff spot. Maltese Wanderers have run away at the top of League 2 this season. The first half of the year, losing just one of their first 15 matches. Some teams down the bottom, considering their performance so far tonight, I don't think Fraser Park would count themselves out against by any stretch. They do play a pretty thin squad. It's not a whole heap of rotation that starting 11. Knocking the ball away well after the whistle had gone, and quite right to ask just how patient Ivica is going to be with that sort of thing. This time continues to tick away. Hughes won the ball and then ripped one of the Olympic strikers that was there in the aftermath. Hasn't been spotted and plays from on. Zebiang chasing the ball. Lighters clearing. Well-timed sliding challenge. The ball out of play. Olympic juniors who've had a short journey here tonight. Not a long away trip for Sydney Olympic. First time these two teams have met in the NPL era. Fraser Park might be getting get it down in the first half, less clear in the second. Quarter of this game left to go. Ball into the near post. Fernandez onto the corner, not getting it. Night out at the Denta Park last season, Sydney Olympic in that shootout against old rival Sydney United. Probably the high point in the preliminary rounds in New South Wales in terms of drama. We've been looking for a rather more straightforward path this time around. Fraser Park has provided them that. Spirit before that. Lies up the table. Not unlike this one at Belmore. Did everything he could to get them away. It's just the bounce. For lack of effort. Hong. Laying the ball off the board and now Politis. Callahan. Hopped over by... Sorry. That will be putting their hand up for this free kick from an Olympic perspective. Fernandez has first over to it. Rosas is somewhat of a reputation for striking these dead balls. Bringing them to life. Stunner from almost his exact position against Rockdale for Sutherland last year. Fraser Park will be hoping that history doesn't repeat itself. Just 4 in the wall for Vickers. Rosas could take this. It is. Oh, it went through the wall and beaten away by Vickers. Thankfully, from his perspective, out to the reach of the onrushing Olympic midfielder Luburic. Olympics wait for an equaliser, goes off. Fraser Park have tried to take some of the sting out of this game. They've not had a lot of luck at it in the second half. Wanted all the energy and application in the first 45 minutes. They got that. Olympic have come with renewed vigour in the second half, providing a real test. Callahan burst away. Fernandez. Well, he's going to have a big night here, Daniel Vickers, if Fraser Park are to hang on, the 19-year-old. All that effort, all the travel that he does week on week. Continued to do to pursue his career at this level. Fraser Parker delighted to have him. Australia Cup round of 32 place on the line. Just over 20 minutes to play. It's too deep for Lucas Williams. Almost an instant impact off the bench. Scoring just 2 minutes after coming on at the break. A couple more saves out of Vickers since then. Fraser Clark trying to take the sting out of this game. They're well within their rights to, as long as Vitsakovic's patience will hold. I think will become more and more vehement in their protests against the taking of that time as this half wears on. Just after the break, has had a limited impact. It was injured for the majority of last season with Southern after showing some bright spots in the early stages of his career down in the Shire. That's not something you see every day. Every ball in the error. Nessa's throw. Bond's clearance. Nice touch from Callahan. The turn wasn't too bad either from the former Sydney FC Academy brother. There he goes. Rough challenge, advantage played, rightly so. Jason joining in. That final ball was just lacking the direction that he wanted. Here's it. It's gone down after chopping down Bailey Callahan. He's overstepped himself in the process. Probably a little fortunate that hasn't picked up a yellow card for his troubles either. You can hear the Olympics fans suggesting. For Olympic when P3 starts, but waits for Tricker to be lifted up to Fraser Parker for the defender. That's going to be a bit of a worry because he's going to have to leave the pitch here. Just going to leave them short-handed to defend the throw. Presence back on there. That might be the end of his life. But Alavides is not going to take the risk of continuing the man down, and so he will right. Making foul. Ready to go. Good performance from Jose. In, immediately defending to do for Fraser Parker and their substitute. Vessa's clearance probably enough to find the Olympic covering support on the inside. Top Callahan just couldn't sort his feet out as the moment presented itself. Still a chance for Jackson strike. Seen all the way again by Vickers. Allow the rebound. Jackson's pulled forward. McAlpin chests it down for Juma. A straight away from Bosniak. He's done that. Delivery hanging up in the sky. Lead by Jarson. Santos has worked hard to send it out of the game a little bit in the second half. Hasn't had his feet as often as he'd like. Fernandez trying to release Morgan down the right. Great covering challenge. Fraser Park, all hands on deck. Just over 15 minutes to play. Gordon's playing now. The Olympic chases equaliser. Dessa putting the pressure on him. Stretches to get the ball in play. Williams down the line for Bosniak. Well, rather knocked over. As he made his way over in cover. It's a rather clumsy challenge, all things considered. In these crucial moments. Team the centre of the area rather than sitting in the wall. Gordon's knocked down, just waiting for a blue shirt who never arrived. Chance for Williams. Tries to steer it in! And they've got the equaliser! Holmes onside! The fairy tale ending hasn't arrived yet at Fraser Park. An Olympic from 2 down has found the leveller. Daniel Wong off the bench. They've been looking for impact from him. What a time to find his second goal of the season. So Fraser Park's hard work in the first half has been undone. It feels the offside looked pretty simple to wave away on first viewing. Olympic, I have to say, for the balance of play that they've held in the second half, where Fraser Park have rarely made forays into their penalty area. Made any at all. Anthony Guerreras has been a spectator, really. It was only a matter of time. Team with this quality from the top tier going to eventually find a way through. And now their support are starting to find voice. Wong just tumbling over the ball for a moment too long, but won it back or faster there. Two of the goal scorers going head to head. Free kick from which to set themselves just in the attacking half. Excitement turned to worry. Warriors turns rather more sour as Fernandez unleashes a pure strike, but it was never heading the target. So if neither team could find another goal in the next 12 minutes or so, we'll be headed to an extra 30 at the end of this Cup quarter-final. Round 7 of the Australia Cup preliminary rounds. History beckons Fraser Park, but come out with the same intensity in the second half that they started the night with. Can they find that finishing gear? Calvin might be the man. He's already scored one spectacularly. But has barely had a touch. Williams touch has let him down. Shied at the task and the effort that would be required to haul themselves back into this game, but they haven't done that. Lifted to the required intensity. Nice back onside there. Oh, could he be the difference maker tonight, the 29-year-old? An unlikely hero, but cup ties are often producers of storylines like that. Hernandez, for all his hustle and bustle, would love a reward at the end of the night on a personal level as well. Shifts the ball wide, 4-1. Rossos who's taken up that wide position. Now he plays it in towards Wong. Fernandez, Daniel Wong's off the shoulder. Very sharp save from Vickers, who has had a very busy second half. Stands up to the challenge again in the driving rain now. Rather mild for most of the night, but almost to add to the drama, it's just increased its intensity as well. Well did, and was asking for somebody to meet it. He's obliged. Just joining us, Fraser Park. Lead by 2-0 going into half time from Ben Astudillo, and this man, Francis McAlpin, quite spectacularly gave them the lead. They've been pegged back, but could they find a winner here? Johnson, without knowing what was behind him, forced to sweep the ball behind. Olympics goals in the best part of half an hour apart. Lucas Williams 2 minutes after the break. Substitute before another sub. Daniel Wong will be equalised when he said. But this crowd are as loud as they've been in the second half. Up in anticipation of the set piece. Crowd around Carreras. Highest was Politis. Clearing header. Whip back in. Carreras had a pretty good view. The strike the whole way. That been a special goal though for Caelan Rose. His strike found its way through the crowd. A message that's a very happy memory for Greek watchers on the stream tonight. It's exactly the same colours and backgrounds of the teams that played in the Euro 2004 final. Happy memory for the Portuguese contingent that night. The Portuguese back club looking to create history as the underdogs this time around. That's about the really changing the storyline. They played half a world away. Wong, attack Rossos. Williams, face to face with a more experienced defender. Straight down the throat to Vickers. He's had the better of him in that little battle. Luca couldn't escape the clutches of Christian Dessler in the first half. Williams has had rather more luck at it in the second. Curran with a searching ball. Can Juma keep the ball in? Quite. Have a winner inside 90 minutes, or we're going to be given bonus Wednesday night football. It's going to have storylines, twists and turns enough for a pretty solid documentary or book already. Etch their name in having the last laugh. Bosniak. Looking for their bit of history as well. They haven't made the Australia Cup national rounds. Bosniak's cross doesn't find the intended target. Since they were beaten by Sydney FC back in 2021, they've only made the national rounds 3 times in the competition's history. Last Waratah Cup win. Well, it hasn't happened, which might surprise some. They've not won Federation of Waratah Cup. They've had Handball Cup, NSL Cup victories in their history. Not this iteration. The last 2 rolls of the dice for Kafidis. Alex Luca has been caught on. Georgios not facing off head-to-head tonight, but both playing a part in tonight's proceedings. Slattery is the player who's been brought off the bench. Scored one of Fraser Park's first goals in the Cup this season. Back in round 3 against the University of Wollongong, their opening game here. So won by 3 goals to 0. The youngster's got a taste of goals in this competition. He etched his name into history. Bench down for Fraser Park, so this will be the 11 that have to see them out to the end. Dos Santos, Slattery. It's Juma. He's got those dancing feet, and so Hong is over to help out. Lost his footing at the crucial moment. Still poked the ball into a promising area. Slattery's ball easily cut out by Ziggy Good. On deck for Fraser Park with some of the injury problems they've got coming into tonight. That has proven to be the case. So the same for Olympic. Chris Williams has played a starring role, coming off the bench in the second half. Players out of predominantly the 20s for respective clubs this season. Pulling from Sebiang's throw. Cadillo's already had his big moment. He's pulled up. That ball was cleared away. Centering header easily picked off by Politis. Quick feet from Grozos. Hong for Hong. And now for Wozniak, who's got space to travel into. Judge that pass in behind for Callahan. All read by Dessa. That's why he's there. Serving member of the Fraser Park team, standing up when required. Transfer to the national round for being as much to him as anybody else out there tonight. Jason still full of run. Say as a commentator, but this game is looking as though it's heading an extra half hour unless one can finish. He's hit the crossbar. That could have gone anywhere. It went straight into the arms of Dean Vickers, and Olympic were that close to snatching their place in the round of 32 from 2 down. It would have been a story in itself. Yes, as the favourites, but ask anybody, trailing by 2 is never easy. Rozos loses his footing. There's been a couple who've lost their feet as the rain has got heavier and heavier as the night has worn on. Fernandez still scheming. Looking for space in the Fraser Park defence. Williams unlocked it, cleared away. Solid. Throwing goes the host way. That's one last bite of the cherry for them in regular time. Just over 2 minutes to play. It's been a real battle for them in the second half. They've had to retain their discipline, and they've bent and broken a couple of times. So that the winning position they held at half-time has evaporated. Dessa's ball in. Tricky one for Jason to help him out. Still a young goalkeeper himself, Anthony Guerreras. Switch across from Manly United in the summer. And still putting the pressure on. Loveric managing to find his way out of that middle. Koldasaki wandered into Fernandez, who wandered into the dead end. Wozniak strides past Dos Santos and beyond Dessa and beyond Tullen as well. Still he goes, Sam Wozniak. Adventurous run from the left back. Hong. Fernandez. Wide for Grozos. Delivery for Callahan. Olympic have won it from 2 down to claim their place in the round of 32 and break the hearts of Fraser Park, who were almost there. But Daniel Wong has come off the bench to score twice and win the game for Sydney Olympic. You would have to think now. No fairy tale this time. Heartbreaking for the hosts. And the air has gone right out of this stadium. Have to give Olympic their credit. They really did turn around their showing from the first half, where they looked beaten, really. Outplayed and outworked for the majority of the opening 45 minutes. They produced some slick, silky football when it's been asked of them against a set, disciplined defence. And their supporters have been rewarded for hanging around. Well, it was looking a little bit of a worry there for Michael Melito and his team. We wondered whether the belief was back after the defeat of Blacktown City over the weekend. Their second half performance has shown no signs of panic. It's been very professional. From a young team still finding their feet, they've relied on some of the players off the bench, one of their more experienced pros in Wong, to find a couple of goals for them. But it's the youngsters that have been brought on that have made the difference. Gordon's going to provide that senior head. He does. He's ahead of Duma. Clears his lines. Callahan. And Olympic can kill it off here. They're 4-on-4 if they play it right. Or will they take it to the corner? That's the call from some of their supporters. That's where Callahan runs. He and Grozos playing between themselves. Daniel Wong has scored more goals tonight than he had for the entire year before this. It's he who gets the storybook ending. Unless Fraser Park can find something very late indeed here. Caution thrown to the winds. Ball into space. Desert striding out to try and save this cut run. The crowd rises one last time. Rose's header. Just needs a red shirt there. Fernandez didn't make contact. In fact, there's Tullen up there. He went to ground. No whistle. Dos Santos gets the whistle from referee Krovic. He's worked so hard tonight. Christian Dos Santos not had a lot to show for it. The majority, but that could be a big moment. Colin Khalil and Ben Mastadillo have already played big roles. The two starting changes for Peace tonight. Sebiang's delivery. It's a dangerous ball. Gordon back in the nick of time. Oh, and he's falling behind everywhere. Grozos, the keeper's out. Points the ball in behind. I think Callahan might be offside. All things considered, even if he does win the foot race, the flag goes up. It's the final whistle, it's not. It's time for one more change from the visitors' bench. That's to take some time off the clock. Are they going to make it? Can't be long left. It's the end of the road for Fernandez. Although an assist or a goal tonight, has been the one most consistently threatening Fraser Park's back line with his incisive passing. out tonight for Liam Saba. He will get minutes registered. And he's straight across actually to make his first touch and clear the danger. Just how long will Victor College see fit to add on at the end of the 90 minutes here? Not long enough from a Fraser Park perspective. Boy, they made a game of it. They led 2-0 at half-time. Gave their fans a moment to remember through Francis McAlpin's strike in the shadows of half-time. And it had the crowd believing. But Olympic regathered, regrouped. One of the substitutes, Lucas Williams off the bench, the 18-year-old. One of his first touches had them believing. And then Daniel Wong, the old head, comparatively for most of the players out there tonight at 29, scoring a brace and breaking the hearts of Fraser Park to secure Sydney Olympic spot in the round of 32 for the first time since 2021. It's been a pleasure to bring you coverage of the Australia Cup preliminary rounds. Unfortunately, no fairy tale here tonight for Fraser Park. We'll wait for a participant in the national rounds from New South Wales. Third division goes on. But it's the history of Olympic that's prevailed here tonight. Alex Volchanov signing off on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. The final score, Fraser Park 2, Sydney Olympic 3.